Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. And before we move forward, let's cue that in. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are all well, wherever it is that you may be within the world. As you can see, I am sweating. I'm actually sweating. I'm actually sweating so much, it's horrible. Yeah, sorry I was a little bit late. I had some phone calls for work, and you know what it's like, work calls, and you have to get on with things, as they say. You have to just get on with it. But we are here today, and we are back with a bit of Chelsea transfer news. You know how it works with me. You don't get everyday transfer news. It's not my style. It's not like the way I like to do things. But what I do tend to do every sort of couple of days is go through what the news is at the moment, and then give my thoughts on what I think is true, or what I actually think is just bullshit, to be honest. You guys can come on, as always, and have your say. There's 15 of you here right now. Before we move forward, please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to GNA TV as well, and hit that bell notification below. And please share on all your socials. Let's let people know that we're live at the moment. Let's get them involved. We're going to talk about Tammy. I want to talk about Tammy today. The options that Tammy has in terms of where he may go when he leaves Chelsea. There's talks about West Ham and Arsenal. We will delve into that. There's also talks about Berardi, the interest in Berardi, which has just recently came out, I think, an hour ago. Chelsea apparently interested in potentially going for him as well. We're going to delve into that quickly. And then there's obviously talks about the Erling Haaland and the potential £135 million bid that seems to be coming up a lot more. You know, people were talking about it, saying that this is the figure that they think, if Chelsea do lay that money, this is the figure that they think Chelsea will lay. So let's make sure you tune in. But please hit them likes. Let's try and get to 30 likes, please, people. Would massively appreciate it here if you could do that for GNA TV. Before I move forward, I'm just going to go through some of your chats, and then we're going to delve into it. The link will be in soon. Come on, have your say. And yeah, let's do it. Also, we're going to go through some of the pre-season games as well at the end of the transfer talk, and give our thoughts on them as well. Big up to you, ZVO. Hope you're well, bro. Jordan, I hope, mate. It's becoming a bit demoralising, this whole Haaland news, and it's just, you just want it to happen. We're waiting for it to happen. But it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. Haaland turns 21 today, and Chelsea won the UCL in 2021. A coincidence? I think not. Jordan is on the Haaland bandwagon, people. He is on the Haaland bandwagon, and we will be talking a little bit about him. I don't want to keep talking about it, because we all know what needs to be done, and I'm just going to give my views on it. Yo, what's good today, Jerm? I'm good, but I'm just really hot. But I still wanted to give you guys a stream. I wanted to mix with my GNA community. I love, spending at least an hour and a half a day with you guys and getting involved. And yeah, man, it's really good. It's really, really good. Loving the Playboy vibes here. What with the pink? Yeah, I'm too. I've got a pink one of these. I've got a black one. I've got a grey one. I've got all different colours of these, man. Trust me. Big up GNA. Big up to you, Tommy. Good to see you around. Big up to Concierge of Crime. Lateness is defo greatness. Big ups, bro. Big up to you as well. Yeah, that is a true comment. That is actually true. Big up to Jose CFC in the house as well. There's 20 of you here, guys. Hit them likes. Let's get to 30. Let's get to the 30. Big up to Devin as well. AR Hive is here. Big up to him. And Chelsea Perspective. Big up to you, my man. Make sure you go and check him out as well. Doing very, very well on his own channel at the moment. I know he has messaged me. Sorry, I haven't come back to you yet, but I will. I've just been very busy at the moment, bro. It is burning in Vegas. Is that where you are? Is that where you are? All right, let's delve into it. Let's get into it, because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to spend too long on these topics. I'm just going to report them to you, give you my thoughts, move on, report, move on, and then let you guys come in and have your say as well. The first one that I want to talk about that came up today is Chelsea apparently supposedly being interested in Berardi. So let's have a quick look at the news on this. There's not much news, to be honest. I think it's a load of ball whack, but here we go. Absolute Chelsea, one of the biggest sort of Chelsea Twitter social profiles in the game on Twitter, has said that Chelsea have made contact with Sassuolo over a potential move for Italy international Domenico Berardi. Now, the people that have actually confirmed this are actually the Express de Sport, who have got 56.2 followers, K followers. So there's something about them. You know, there must be one big sporting company in Italy, and then you got obviously TV dello Sport, who are huge as well, who are a massive Italian group within Italy as well. So, you know, the people that are obviously mentioning this are close to home, being Italians. So maybe they've been tipped off here and there about certain individuals maybe leaving Italy to come, you know, go across Europe. For me, I feel like potentially, I don't feel like there's much to this. I do think Chelsea need a midfielder. You know, I do think Chelsea need that, but I just don't think Berardi is the type of player Chelsea would look at. Now, I haven't watched enough of him at Sassuolo. I'm not going to lie; it's not the type of game I've watched. But to be honest, I think it's probably more paper talk than anything. The one thing I would say about Chelsea is that we get linked with absolutely everyone. You know it as well. There's not one individual that Chelsea is usually not linked to, and it becomes pretty. I think this summer, as in general, has become pretty mad in terms of the links that Chelsea have been linked to, and the people that are potentially meant to be coming across. And I just feel like this is another one of them sort of, here you go, we'll just make some news, we'll just try and, you know, throw some talk, you know, our way. But there's not much to talk about. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Chelsea would be interested in a player like Berardi. I do think we do need to fill that area, but they haven't mentioned on there how much Berardi's worth. You know, it's all going to fall down to how much is he worth, and they've not even mentioned that. So I just read it. I just read it and think, nah, you know, I don't get that feeling. Let's try and get to 30 likes, people. There's 25 of you here right now. Please make sure you smash that like button. My question is, will you guys still have faith in the team and the manager if we do not sign Haaland? Obviously, we're going to get into Haaland later on, but yeah, why not? You know, people forget that Chelsea has spent how much last season? 200 odd million. I understand that we do need a striker, and I get that. But the one thing that we do have, which we haven't had for a while, is a great manager, a manager that's managing to get the best out of the individuals that we got. And certain of them individuals, I actually thought we couldn't get levels out of. So when you look at it like that, you know, could we get away with going throughout a season without signing a Haaland? It would be hard, but then we would need people like Timo Werner and Havertz all to step up anyway. So at the end of the day, it's one of them ones. It's do we need a striker? Yes. If we don't just sign a striker, is it the end of the world? For me, no. It's not the end of the world. We have a good squad, guys. We do have a good squad. We need to understand that, you know. So, and I do think Chelsea will sign someone still, even if it's not a Haaland. I do think you'll see someone come through the door, but we will get into the Haaland talk soon. Please make sure you do what Tommy says here as well. Like, subscribe, guys, to GNA TV for more streams and more exclusive transfer news. Yeah, I mean, it's not exclusive. It's just me giving you guys what's, you know, what I'm seeing. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to sit here and do tons of transfer talks every day. I'll just, you know, highlight certain things and give my thoughts on it, and then allow you guys to get involved as well. I love talking to you guys in the chat and seeing what you think about it. It's quick for it. Haaland's got a gun. Yep. Too late for a rumour like this. I agree. Chelsea perspective, big up to him with his super donation. Thank you, bro. We do need midfielders that can up our assist rate and goal contributions from the midfield. I agree. I think we do need midfielders. And I don't actually think we've got enough midfielders that can actually create for the final third. If you look at N'Golo Kante, it's not within himself to look up and play that beautiful Cesc Fabregas ball. It's not really in, for example, Kovacic's game. You know, Kovacic is great with the ball and moving up the gears and getting up the pitch, but his end product lets him down. And we know that his end product lets him down. You know, you look at Jorginho, who's great with the ball. His ball retention is great. He's good at moving the ball left to right and keeping us moving. But how many times says he's very progressive with the ball? And that was one of my question marks with him. If he can do that, because I think he can, I think he's got the ability to look up and play the ball quicker rather than looking for the easy ball all the time, then maybe we wouldn't have to worry as much. I still think we do need strength and depth there. I am slightly still a bit earth with the whole Billy Gilmore thing. Why did we let Billy Gilmore go? Because now we have to fill that area. We have to, because Kovacic, Kante, and yeah, Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho is just not enough. It's just not enough. It really isn't, you know. So unless we use someone from the academy potentially to come in, then maybe. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes moving forward. We don't want to panic buy, and I agree, Vernon. I really do agree with that. The problem is, AR Hive says the problem with us is we also need our inside forwards to improve their outputs. Also, like yeah, I agree, and they do. Christian Pulisic, Ziyech, show if he's playing. You know, whoever's on that pitch has to improve their game, especially in that areas. Especially in areas. I mean, Ziyech it should become natural to Ziyech. Ziyech should naturally be able to assist. That's his game, you know. New breaking news: Madison to Arsenal super close to joining. Yeah, that don't surprise me. That really, really don't surprise me. If we go for the 4-2-2-2 system with Havertz, Werner up front, and Pulisic and Ziyech on the wings, then I think we will be fine. Okay. Yeah, I think we will. You will see Chelsea sort of alternate with their formations 100%. I do agree with that. Big up to you as well, Josh CFC. Lovely to see you here, bro. I think the club will surprise us all. Remember, they like to do their business under the radar. They do. The only thing I would say is that don't read in too much into who we're being linked with, because we're always linked with tons and tons of certain individuals. And this is one of them. This is one of the stories that is, oh, you know, let's just make a story up and sell it in there. Berardi's probably sat down with Sassuolo and probably thought, I could probably do better now. You know, after his Euros, he's probably thinking himself, I could go to somewhere better. You know, and they've probably took that and then probably thrown Chelsea in the mix of it and gone, yeah, Chelsea want him. You know, let's throw Chelsea in there. They're trying to buy people. We don't know who, but let's just put their name in there. And I feel that's what's happened. That is definitely what has happened. I don't know with Ruben. You know, Ruben's what, nearly 26, 27 now. Can he play in that position? Viewers, do you think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is good enough for Chelsea? Do you think his time's passed? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Because for me, I liked Ruben before he got injured. I thought he had everything. He had everything possible that he needed to become a great player. And I don't know, his injury seems to have caught him out of it a bit. Jem, we don't actually have an inside forward. We have an old-fashioned creative winger like Sane, but as good. That's why we need a striker to help their numbers improve. I hear that. Big up to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I am all well, bro. I hope you're good. Thank you for tuning in. Please make sure we smash the likes. There's 33 of us here right now. Let's try and get to 40 likes, guys. The link is going to be in the chat. You guys will be able to have your say and come in and get involved. So please make sure you do that. And hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 1.5k. We need that help. We need that help. Help us get to 1.5k. We appreciate it massively over at GNA TV. And we've got so much coming up. So much, trust me, for you guys. It's going to be good. Tuchel worked with Fort and knows he will bring the best out of Gilmore. Rumours are Seal could be seen as a box-to-box. Okay, I hear that. Jose CFC thinks he's got a good chance. Josh thinks I think Ruben has all the tools to succeed in Tuchel's system in multiple positions as well. Okay. I hear that. Right, let's move on because, like I said, I don't want to stay and delve on too much on the same topic. So let's get out of this Berardi talk, which, like I've told you guys already, I think it's a load of crap. I might be wrong, but I only say how I feel and what I see. So I want to move on to this one. The Tammy situation. There's obviously talks about Tammy going West Ham, Tammy potentially going Arsenal, Tammy potentially going Spurs. What we're going to do is we're going to delve into some of the tweets, the new tweets that have come out about Tammy. And the first one I'm going to delve into is this one, which is obviously again absolute Chelsea reporting it, and Andy Dillon, who I've never heard of. Let's have a look who Andy Dillon is. Who is Andy Dillon? Who is Andy Dillon, guys? Well, he ain't got that many, I don't know how reputable he is, But at the end of the day, Andy Dillon has reported this. And this is, again, Chelsea are prepared to let Tammy Abraham join Arsenal on loan. The Blues are demanding 40 million. But the fee is proving a sticking point. A loan deal with an obligation to buy should he reach a preset amount of appearances appears to be an ideal compromise. I don't think that's true. And I'll tell you why I don't think that's true. I don't think Chelsea... Think of it like this, right? This is the best way I can simplify it for you guys. we're trying to raise funds for certain individuals to come in. We're also trying to reduce the wage roll, the wage structure at Chelsea. Because if we are looking to bring someone in like a Haaland who's demanding nearly 300k plus a week, we're going to need to free up space on the wages. Now, we already know that Tuchel doesn't think Tammy is good enough for Chelsea. It was very clear and evident last season, even though it was a short period of time, that Tuchel don't look at Tammy as being an individual that can be the main man, even a second/third striker. Now, Tammy's probably sat there and thought, you know what, I want to play. I want to be the main man. And obviously, Tuchel sat there and told him that's not going to be the case. The reason Chelsea won't do this is because, number one, they want the money. And number two, I don't think they're going to want to sign him back. And if Tuchel is the main manager, if Tuchel's the guy that we're going to be looking to be the manager going forward for the next 3 or 4 years, and he doesn't like Tammy, why the hell are we going to go and loan him out on an obligation to buy? I just don't get it. I think Chelsea will want their money now for him. The only thing that may work in this deal is if Tammy Abraham goes to Arsenal on this basis, bangs in 15 to 20 goals, gets Arsenal to Europa League / maybe a Champions League, yeah, and then they buy him. But at that point, obviously, it'd be a preset amount, so we would end up losing out. It's not a real win-win for Chelsea here. Do you know what I mean? I think Chelsea, if they're going to sell him, should sell him now. I think they should just get him off the books. I don't think the money that people are looking to obviously put forward for Tammy Abraham, I think, is a lot for what it is and who he is at the moment. And yes, he is a decent striker. I don't think he's Chelsea-esque. I just don't think he's Chelsea level, and that's all it is. He's a West Ham fan. Arsenal will give us 40 million obligation, while West Ham will not. Okay, I hear that. Tammy to West Ham for Rice. I mean, that's the next topic we're going to get into. Big up to Indiana as well, who's in the chat as well. He's still asking about the Haaland situations. He's hoping that Chelsea don't get Haaland. Let's be serious. When are Arsenal going to save money for Danny? Very soon, bruv. Very soon. Very, very soon. I am sweating, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm so hot right now. It's so hot in my room. Sky Jeremy claiming a bid could be imminent. Yeah, we're going to get into the Haaland news. Haaland is next. I want to just talk about Tammy. Let's try and stay on topic, and then we'll switch to Haaland. Then I'm opening up the lines. You guys can get involved, but you need to get me to 40 likes. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on our way to 1.5k subscribers, so let's do that. That makes no sense for either clubs. Would make more sense to just sell him. Exactly, Mr. Arsenal. And that's an Arsenal fan saying that. It makes no sense for Chelsea. And it probably don't make no sense for Arsenal. And that's why I don't think Arsenal would spend 40 million on Tammy. I just think this is nonsense. I really, really do think that this is definite nonsense. And I don't think it's going to happen. If it could go Arsenal, but it's not going to Arsenal like that. Arsenal would have to spend at least 40 million, or maybe 35 to 40 million to even get any interest of him going there. You don't get the point. Obligation means Chelsea will have 40 million next summer because Arsenal can't walk away from the deal. Okay, if that's what that means. I thought it was in terms of an obligation to buy, meaning that he can't come back to Chelsea. If Chelsea wanted him back, but Arsenal trigger it, then Arsenal obviously just lay the funds at the time and they keep it. Look at Tomori, for example. He was an obligation to buy, but he went for 24 or 25 million. That was dirt cheap. After the season he had. He should have been much more. He should have been much more. Are you not worried about next season? Will it be tougher, especially during AFCON, and fans are championing academy players where we were 30? Yeah, I mean, look, beautiful game. I thank you for the comment as well. I mean, no. I mean, yes and no. I think in terms of Mendy, yes, I'm worried. I'm worried in terms of the Mendy situation. I think we do need another goalie for that position, but we have to see. Kevin Palmer's put a Chelsea update on Twitter, has he? I haven't seen it. Tell me what it is, Rickson. What is the update from Kevin Palmer? What is the update? In your opinion, do you think he would improve us? I think he would score you goals, Mr. Arsenal Podcast. I think he would score you goals. I don't think he would play as much as he would if he went to a West Ham under Arsenal or under an Arteta. I think Aubameyang still leads that. I think Lacazette will probably still get game time. So I just think if I was Tammy, I'd look at what I want. Do I want to go to another bigger team and prove myself there and maybe not play as many games? Or do I want to go to West Ham under David Moyes, who's doing quite well, let's be serious there, and potentially start and probably start most of the games there because I'll be the main man. I would probably do the West Ham if I was Tammy. That's what I think. Yeah, so interesting stuff. I'm going to move on to the next quick comment as well, which is to do with quickly, just quickly. Fabrizio Romano did actually also say Arsenal are not currently in advanced talks for Tammy Abraham. They are informed on the situation as they like him, but it's not an advanced deal with Chelsea yet. So that even kind of explains, says it there for me that, they like him. They've not put any sort of call out for him yet. So we will see what happens with Tammy. But moving on from that, I want to go on to the second bit of news of Tammy, which is this about what Rudy said yesterday. Rudy obviously mentioned about Tammy potentially going to West Ham on a player swap deal. So the tweet here from Rudy basically says contacts between West Ham and Chelsea for Declan Rice continue. The Hammers, in addition to the money, could accept the inclusion in the negotiation of a player as Tammy Abraham involved. And then he just says it's an involving situation, as if to say they're in talks, and there's also talks about potential Tammy Abraham being used as a part of the deal to get, to get him across and Declan Rice go the other way. Now, for me, that seems more achievable because I think Tammy works for West Ham. And I think if Chelsea are that serious in Declan Rice and they want him, it's a good bargaining, isn't it? Think about it. It's a good bargaining for us. Yeah, you have a player that we ain't really interested in, or Tuchel ain't really interested in. You give us a player that we've been wanting, but we don't want him for 70, 80 mil. What will happen with that, though, is we'll give him to them. They'll give us Declan Rice, but I guarantee they'll want 15 mil on top of that, or 10, or 20. If Chelsea manage to pull it off where we give them Tammy and they give us Rice, and we don't have to pay anything on top of that, it's just a player swap, that would be amazing. That would be great. Then I would have Declan Rice in our team because he didn't cost us anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about you, Jim, but these fans expecting 55 to 60 million is crazy. You'd be lucky to get 40 for Tammy. It's true, Concierge. You're bang on right there, mate. Absolutely spot on with your comments there. Let's quickly go through some of these. Are you talking about the Lewandowski deal? Yeah, if that's Robert Lewandowski, then it don't surprise me. I said to you on here, on the last stream, Robert Lewandowski, and it was live on GNA. I actually said it before a lot of the other people said it, if you remember. I said it before all of the sources came out of it. I said it before most of the YouTubers come out of it. I said that it was a bullshit source anyway. It was a bullshit source. There's no way in hell Robert Lewandowski comes to Chelsea for 50 million when he's their talisman and he's still scoring the number of goals that he is scoring there. There's just no way in hell for me. It just doesn't happen. Sorry, guys, because my phone keeps going mad. It just doesn't happen, and the Lewandowski thing just doesn't make sense. Right. If we pushed attention to Lewandowski as Bayern have financial issues at the moment with Koeman, Goretzka and Kimmich all threatening to leave for the next summer. Maybe next summer. I just don't see Lewandowski going this season, especially if Bayern haven't got no one to bring in to replace him. And they're going to, if they do replace him, they're going to seriously have to, it's going to have to be for some serious money. Isn't it? Think about it. You're not going to give him to 50 million Chelsea. Here you go, have Lewandowski. It just doesn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Dizzy's in the house. Madders to the carpet. Arteta's red and white army. Dizzy. Sometimes I wonder if you are actually dizzy. I know it is hot out there, mate. So, Absolute Chelsea posted about Barkley to West Ham. Interesting. Big up to you, Dizzy, as well. Big up to you. Rice is barely a 40 million player. I think he is about 40. It'll be anything between 40 and 50 million for Declan Rice. So, going back to topic, Tammy to West Ham or Arsenal, I think you've got more chance of it being done with West Ham. That's my personal opinion. I'm not saying that any sources have told me that that's going to be the case. I have been told to watch out on Arsenal, though. Someone has told me to watch out on the Arsenal thing, depending on how Arsenal move in the next week or two. I just don't think if Arsenal sign Maddison and they sign, obviously they've just signed Ben White as well. they then go and spend 40 million on Tammy. I just don't think they would do that. So that's why I see that the West Ham option would work more. I think it works for both clubs more. The fact that if Chelsea supposedly are so interested in Declan Rice, we can have him, and then West Ham would want a striker because they need it, and have a Tammy Abraham. I think it works in their favour. I really, really do. So let's see how that plays out in the upcoming sort of couple days / week. We will keep updating on that. It'd be interesting to see what happens with that moving forward as well. People are saying Chelsea won't get Haaland. How comes Chelsea are still interested in Haaland? We'll get into it. Smash that like button, please, people. How many likes are we on? I know there's 40 odd of you here right now, which I appreciate on this hot day as well. We're at 37. Let's try and get me to 40 likes. 40 likes, people. And then we'll aim for the 50 if we can do that. Subscribe if you're new to GNA TV as well. And we massively appreciate it. Falk just came out and said United are talking to Goretzka. United are on a mad one. Yeah. United are on a mad one. We are not getting Rice. Okay, Callum. If we're not getting Rice, who comes in? Who's coming in? Because Chelsea are buying someone, right? I'm going to ask you this question, viewers. There's 40 of you here, 40 plus of you here. Do you see Chelsea not signing anyone the whole season? I'm talking about, do you see us not getting a Haaland, a Rice? Do you see Chelsea actually just not doing anything? Not bringing one player in? I want to know what your thoughts are. Big up to my guy, Daniel Bamiji, who's in the house as well. How you doing, Moji? You all right?
What you saying, bro, man? Fam, you know I'm at work in it, but when you said you got some stuff going on in it, and obviously I haven't been on in a while, so I said, yeah, man,
I appreciate it. Like I said, bro, if you can't make it, I understand it. It's obviously an afternoon and people got work and that, and plus it's blimmin' hot, innit? I don't know about you, I'm sweating right now.
Blimmin' hot, man. At least you get to stream, and it's nice.
Yeah.
After working, whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, man, how you doing?
I'm all right, bro. I'm all right. We're just going through 3 topics at the moment, actually. It'd be good to get your views. I haven't come on to the last topic, which is Haaland. I'm trying not to do too much talk about Haaland because I feel like we're all sort of know what the situation is and what Chelsea need to do, but we will get into that a bit later on. People, there's nearly 50 of you here. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to GNA TV. Also, go and follow Eyes on the Ball TV as well. He's doing some great content over there as well. Yesterday, done a big stream with some big Chelsea YouTubers as well. So go on there and tune in as well. Dan, we're talking about this Tammy situation, and what I've said to the viewers is, if Tammy is going to leave Chelsea, where is he more destined to go? Is it going to be a West Ham? Is it going to be an Arsenal? We've sort of delved into some of the Twitter sources and what the journalists have said as well. I mean, where do you think he would go, and who do you think would where it would work more so? So would it work better for him going to West Ham? Obviously, it would benefit both of us more if he went to West Ham in the terms of the right situation. But do you still think Arsenal have still got a chance, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, Arsenal, of course, have got a chance. I mean, he supported Arsenal as a kid, so there will be some like little semblance of him that still resonates with Arsenal. He will look at Arsenal's situation in that Aubameyang had a poor season. He's getting towards the end of his career. I don't envisage him being at Arsenal for too long. Lacazette as well has been at Arsenal for a while. So he could look at it like that. Or he could look at it at West Ham. I think he goes in there and starts from day one. I think maybe it'll be between him and Antonio going for that number 1 striker spot. And I think when you compare him and Aubameyang, him versus Aubameyang and Lacazette, or him versus Antonio, he'll bet himself against playing against Antonio. And obviously West Ham, look, they're trying to kick on. West Ham almost got into the top 4 last year. So he can possibly be that stable guy that can score goals for them. But yeah, if I was Tammy, where would I go? If I was Tammy, I would probably go to. I could. Would I go to? I don't know. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? If I'm Tammy Abraham, I look at it like this. I go to Arsenal and I will get games, but I still feel like he's not the main man now. I think Aubameyang will be started.
Yeah, you still have to prove so much.
Yeah, exactly. He goes to West Ham, and I think he actually plays more. You know, I think he starts more, he plays more, especially if he takes off as well and scores a couple goals.
Plays in the Europa League as well, which is good for him.
Exactly. You know, if I'm Tammy, you know, I forgot that West Ham are in Europe in the Europa Conference, aren't they? So yeah, if I'm Tammy, I would look at the option of West Ham more than the Arsenal thing. But saying that, Arsenal were doing bits. Apparently, just recently, Kevin Palmer's just announced that Arsenal have pretty much done deal with Maddison already, which is another big step for them. You know, so they're bringing in some big players as well. So
Yeah. No, look. Do you know what the thing about Arsenal is that they've always they've made statements along the years, but they've never been a team I'm worried about. You know what I mean? Until Arsenal show us that they can compete and consistently stay at the top, I'm never going to be like worried about what Arsenal do. All I care about is what we do as a club. And possibly of course, Man United. You can't ignore Man United's transfer window so far. If they potentially get Varane as well and Sancho, so I'm just caring about what we do and how we add to a Champions League title winning team. Like we need to add, and that's the most important thing.
I agree. World Cup next year, Tammy will want first team football. I don't know if Tammy makes the England team.
Yeah,
I mean, even if he had a great season, Dan, and he scored 14 to 15 goals next season, does he get in that England squad?
Nah, he doesn't, man. He doesn't. He's not in there. Under Southgate, yeah, just not.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about a little bit about Haaland. Obviously, there was talks today on socials. Obviously, this was the comment that came from Absolute Chelsea, who apparently this is via 90-minute football as well. Nothing really new, to be honest. It's just basically saying that Chelsea are preparing to test Borussia Dortmund with a £135 million bid for Erling Haaland. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like everyone sort of knows where we're at with it and what needs to be done. And I feel like some Chelsea fans have sort of given up on it. But it's one of these topics that and deals that you can't just expect to happen overnight. And it's such a big deal. And I do think Chelsea are going to lay that bid. I mean, Dan, how confident are you in Chelsea still doing something with this Haaland situation?
I'm not. I've been repetitive in saying that I don't think we'll get Haaland. I think a transfer like this doesn't. You can't get a transfer like this done in the latter stages of the transfer market, in my opinion. Look, if they prove me wrong, great. I mean, we've got a world-class talent, in fact, generational talent to an extent. So I just think that if we would have known if this deal was happening, there would have been advanced talks. I just don't see how it just all happened so quickly when the transfer fee is just the beginning. You're looking at Mino Raiola's fees. You're looking at Haaland's fees, all those stuff. Like that's a lot of work that goes into it. And you know, we're both on the terrace. Terry's always telling us how complicated these big deals are. Look how long the Neymar deal took. Like there was a lot of back and forth. There was so much that had to go into it. So I just think deals take time, and I'm seeing someone who put it in the comments. Of course, deals take time, but one thing we have to remember is that in situations, the biggest deals in world football. Let me give you some background check now. The biggest deals in world football, Neymar. What was the common denominator in Neymar moving from Barcelona to PSG? He wanted to leave. He was pushing for a move. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. You look at Ousmane Dembele when he left Borussia Dortmund. What was the key denominator? But Dortmund didn't want to sell. He wanted to leave. Aubameyang. He wanted to leave. At the end of the day, there's two things that come down to it when it comes to big transfers. The player needs to want to leave, or the club needs to want to sell. And that's what it comes down to. The reason why we got Havertz, the reason why we got Werner, because all these other clubs didn't have money to pay in that COVID transfer window, and these players wanted to leave. They wanted better challenges. Haaland isn't going to push for a move, for one. He's open to a move, of course he is, but he's not going to push for a move. And then also, what was I going to say? Haaland needs to push for a move, and Dortmund need to want to sell. Dortmund are under no pressure to sell. They're under no pressure.
They're not, but they also haven't. One thing they haven't done up to now is squash. You know, with the Sancho deal last year, they were very adamant that if you don't sign him on this date, you don't give us this money, you're not having him. They haven't done that with Haaland, have they? The only thing they have said, or actually come out and said, is we won't accept a cash plus player deal. They haven't said we ain't going to accept any amount of money offered for Haaland because we want him here, and Chelsea might as well not bother. That's not come out of their mouths, you know. So That's why I agree with what you're saying. A lot of people in the chats now, there's 50 people here right now. They're all saying that, some Hershey's saying he thinks you're being negative. Again, I think Dan's got some, I think he's got some. I think Dan's got some valid points in where he's going with it, and I can get where he's going with it. The way I see it is that I do feel it's got a stench of the Havertz deal, and I do think that it's one of them things where it hasn't blown away. It's not one of them things that's just gone. It feels like it's still going on. And you remember, Dan, yourself, last season, how long did the Havertz deal? How long did it continuously go on and recycle itself and the same nonsense coming up? You know yourself. It was recycled. It was mad. And then Chelsea dropped that bid, and then look how quick it will progress. I'm not saying Chelsea are going to go and do that with Haaland, but I just feel like it's not done yet. And if we wasn't interested, you would have seen us go down a different avenue, because I do think we need a striker.
You know what? I agree with you. The thing is, what I'm trying to basically put across to people is Havertz was a great deal to get done. But in the world of football, there's a huge difference between 70 million and 150 million. And 150 million transfer is a huge, colossal fee, which takes time. And of course,
it changes world football, Dan.
It changes everything. And the thing is, I want to be on the side that says, I think Chelsea's going to get this done. I think we're going to get Haaland. I think he's going to come to us. We're going to be the best team in the world. Da-di-da-di-da. But I just have to look at things without the rose-tinted glasses. Like let's be realistic a bit. Like, it's going to be a very, very tough deal to get going. So, in my opinion, I think we should make sure that we're not putting all our resources into Haaland and then ending up with Nish, because a big part of the Sancho deal last year was that United put all their resources in trying to get Sancho and then ended up getting Amad Diallo and Pellistri. So I don't want that situation for us. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, they got their man the season after, but it was easier to get their man the season after. Who's to say that Haaland comes to Chelsea the next season if we don't get him this year? The whole world will want Haaland. Do you know what I mean?
And this is why I think it's important that if Chelsea are going to get him, it has to be now. And it's not just Chelsea that need him. Raiola needs this as well, because he ain't making no money next year on this. So he's going to be pushing it more. Obviously, Haaland's dad's making money out of this deal as well. Dortmund could potentially double their money if it goes through this year. Like, for me, the way I'm looking at the moment is I'm literally just simplifying it. And I actually think, I know you mentioned earlier about the personal terms and the agent fees, and that. I think we're past that. I think we're actually past that level. I think we're at a position where we're trying to test where we want to be in terms of what we're going to lay in fee. And I think we've got the funds there, but I don't think we want to just go all out and go bang, there you go. I think we're trying to test the waters, like anyone would do. We're not going to go and give them the full 150. Why? We might throw in a 120, a 110, and I think that's what's probably happening. It might be a formal bid. I don't think there will be an official bid. Like Terry said, and you've heard it yourself, the only time we would put an official bid down is if we're confident that Dortmund are going to accept it, because Chelsea don't want to look like fools, do they? So it's going to be interesting. But if you're going to, the way I look at it is, let's simplify it. At the end of the day, all Chelsea have to do is lay that bid. Who benefits from it? Haaland's dad, because he earns from it. Mino Raiola, because it's a big wage slip in his pocket for it, or, in terms of the money. Haaland benefits from it. Why? Because he can demand such higher wages, and maybe not able to do that next year in terms of the 300, 360, 400. I don't know. Dortmund benefit from it. So it is, for me, got to the point where there's not much more to look into with this story. There's no like hidden. It's just Chelsea have to lay the money, or they don't. And if we don't, then why are we allowing this stench to continue to progress? Go and look elsewhere. Go and show that you're trying to find someone else. Like, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? So it's.
I get you, man. I get you. It's definitely a tough situation for us. And look, the striker situation is one that I said before the season, before at the end of the season, despite us winning the Champions League and everything, great. I said the striker position is of major priority above all the positions. I think that was the one position we definitely needed to strengthen on. We needed the striker. We needed someone who can get us goals. We had the second most big chances created in the league, the second highest XG in the league. but we weren't converting at the rate that we should have been converting. And that's down to us not having a forward who can finish off the chances that we had. Tuchel said it throughout the season. He said his system creates chances, which it does. The stats prove his system creates chances, but we're not finishing them. So, look, as Chelsea Football Club, I think that we missed a trick in not going for Lukaku. In my opinion, I think that
this is what I was
deal
going
was
to say. Concierge of Crime's comment here. He's saying that
yeah.
in the next week or two, do you officially end Haaland and go for Lukaku?
Yeah, but that's not possible anymore because Lukaku is not going to be taken for a mug. He knows that Chelsea has been chasing Haaland all summer. He's not going to Lukaku's not going to be anyone's second choice. You're either going to be first choice with Lukaku or you're not going to get him. Lukaku did it already. Like he said in his interview, I don't know if you've watched it with a couple of guys in America. He said he just didn't feel like Chelsea really wanted him. Like he said he was close to joining Chelsea, but he'd never really felt that the hierarchy wanted him. Like he just felt that there was people pulling back. And at the end of the day, the Chelsea hierarchy hasn't really changed that much from the time when he went to Man United. So like he will still have that feeling in him that the Chelsea hierarchy don't really want him, and he's happy where he is. Yeah. He's loved where he is. So look, Chelsea have missed a trick here, and you have people suggesting Ings. I think, look, if you, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
It is tough. It is tough. Look, there's nearly 70 of you here right now. Please smash the like button. We appreciate you on a hot summer day because I'm sweating. I'm literally sitting there like getting cooked on right now. I literally am. We've got a donation in here from Phantom of Many Topics. Thank you for the donation, bro. Appreciate it. Marina is stalling. Price Dortmund wants 150 to 176 euros. I don't think she's stalling. I think it's like what I said earlier. I think it's just understanding where and what we can get away with. Do you know what I mean, Dan? Like, it's like, we know they want this, but why do we want to give them that? Why don't we try and test the waters with maybe this or that? Or should we do this? So I think we're just planning on what we're going to put. I actually think it's going to be in the regions of 135 million, as what someone said. Because some people have already said this to me off air as well. That they believe it's going to be, if Chelsea do later bid, it'll be 135. That's what.
Yeah, no, there's definitely two sides to it. I think the two sides of it are, look, you got one side where Chelsea have been quoted a fee from Dortmund, and we obviously want to try and pay. So let's say Dortmund have quoted us 150. We're trying to get the deal in around 120, 130 in that region, because obviously every little helps. And in that kind of transfer, like 30 million is a huge cut off from the price quoted. As well as that, the other side of it is there's just no chance we get Haaland. Like Dortmund are telling us no. And we're still trying to go back and see what we can do. Then again, obviously, there still wouldn't be Haaland links if Dortmund had flat out told us no. But I'm just worried that we start the season without a striker again.
Well, this is my next question. Yeah, well, that was going to be my next question. So obviously, would it surprise you if Chelsea don't sign anyone the whole season, the whole transfer window? Would it surprise you? And do you worry? I mean, obviously you just said you do, but do you worry going into next season, or do you just think the people that we signed last summer just need to step up and show us?
Look, that's one of the things I did mention. I wrote an article about it. I said that we had a transfer window that could have been in it for a lot of other clubs. Would have been 2 transfer windows: Ziyech, Havertz, Werner. Who else came that summer? Really and truly, Pulisic felt like a new signing because of his injuries. Hudson-Odoi breaking into the team after his year-long injury felt like a new signing. So we have a bucket load of talent who can all step up from within, and they've all had their first season to get used to things. And the fact that we were able to win a Champions League in a year where there was a lot of transition means that we've got bucket loads of talent. So yes, people can step up from within, but at the end of the day, it will be dangerous to go into the new season without any new signings, because we've seen.
It would be, I agree with that. But do you not think that if we don't get Haaland, we shouldn't just waste money and just bring in anyone?
No, I agree. I don't. Yeah. I think we will need a striker, regardless, because Giroud's gone. He was a club. Giroud's gone. Tammy could go. So if Giroud and Tammy go, you need a striker. Whether it's Haaland or whether it's Ings, you need a striker. Like, you have to have a striker available in the squad. You can't just have Havertz as a false 9 for the full season. That's just impossible. You need a striker. But yeah, man, I don't want us wasting money where money doesn't need to be wasted. But if Giroud and Tammy go, then you need to get some sort of striker.
Big up to El Padrino, my guy, in the chat. Hope you're well, bro. The link's going to be in the chat very soon, so you guys can come in and have your say. Please make sure you smash the like button. Let's try and get to 50 likes. So yeah, subscribe, and yeah, all good, man. All good. We're moving. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I actually think that we do need a striker. I did say at the beginning of the summer of the transfer, if we don't sign a striker, don't be surprised. And if we don't, I think we will buy in a certain area. I think we need to improve in the goalie aspects. And the only reason for that is having the AFCON coming up as well is something that I think is going to be a problem, especially from January. Even though it's not that many games, you're still going to need a decent goalie, and I just don't think Kepa's that still. So losing Mendy, losing Ziyech as well, isn't it? We'll be losing Ziyech as well. Is there anyone else we would lose? It would only be them two, wouldn't it? I'm trying to think anyone else.
Ziyech, Mendy, and that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's mainly it. So, all right, guys, I am going to put the link in the chat, but I'm going to go through some of these chats before doing so. If Chelsea offer 135 million, Riley will push for this. He will do, and this is why I keep saying to you, he earns from this deal. You know, he will want it to go through. Haaland might want the move. I don't know. I don't really think we know what Haaland wants, do we? I know he's back with pre-season and he's back training and whatever. But someone said in the comments that apparently he told his teammates that he's staying. I don't know. It's just up in the air. It is all up in the air. Just quickly go through these. Lukaku is staying at Inter. Simple as that. Fab said he's staying. So can we stop saying the name Lukaku? I get that, but what happens if Chelsea are that desperate that they do want a striker and they fail on the Haaland situation and they go, right, here you go, in 100 mil? I don't see Inter turning away that money. Do you, Dan? Because they need money.
No,
still, I know
they wouldn't. They wouldn't. I mean, you mentioned Kevin Palmer. He literally just tweeted about 20 minutes ago that there could be there's serious rumors about Bayern Munich having financial troubles. That if you send money to Lewandowski, which a lot of people are saying we shouldn't because of his age and all of that kind of stuff, which I understand. But yeah, I like I said, regardless, it was Monster. Me and Monster had an argument about it. He said there's no way. He said it would be very, very silly for us to put 60 million in a 34-year-old striker. I said, bro, you get Lewandowski, who's still playing at a top level for 2 years. I would take that in a heartbeat, man, because we need a top level striker, someone who can come in and doesn't take time to adapt. Lewandowski obviously is is a huge stretch. I'm just going off what Kevin Palmer has tweeted, but yeah.
I hear you. Links in the chat. If Chelsea fails to sign Haaland, then bring on Mbappe. Well, do you know what? PSG are moving mad at the moment, and they've gone for they've got Ramos. Who else is it they're bringing in as well? They just brought someone in recently.
Ramos. They're bringing in. They brought in flipping. Who's
Pogba.
the
Pogba, isn't they?
Yeah, Pogba.
Talking about as well.
Donnarumma came in as well.
Donnarumma, they've spent dough, haven't they? I mean, financial fair play would ruin them if it was in play right now, but they've literally just took straight advantage.
Yeah, no, facts.
Massive. All right, people, let's get Eric Blue in. My guy, Eric Blue. What you saying, bro?
Yo, can you hear me? Oops.
Eric.
Yeah.
Something's
falling. Bro. What you saying?
Sorry. Yeah. I'm really happy to be involved with the channel. I haven't there's so many channels out there I haven't been able to get in touch with, but hopefully I'll be more active on YouTube and I can get in touch with you guys more. It's just it seems like it's just the same old same old thing happening over and over again. Nothing has really changed since maybe last week. But hopefully, like you guys have been discussing, we need that striker. We need Haaland. So I'm expecting it to go to the last day. Honestly, I'm expecting a deadline day situation where we get whoever we're looking for. Hopefully on deadline day. But if it's before that would be nice. But it might go all the way to deadline day.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to think that it wouldn't, because I feel like Tuchel would want him there sooner rather than later just to get mixed in with the squad. But it wouldn't surprise me, like you said, if it goes to like the last day. At that point, we would have started the season, and I don't know. I feel like Chelsea should act before that. I think it's important that you get him at least at the beginning of August. You know, before we start the league, even if it's the first week of August, the 7th of August, the same. At least get him in around that period. Anything later, then I'm not saying I wouldn't have him. I would have him. Don't get me wrong, but I just think in terms of what Tuchel would want, I think he would want him in a lot earlier. But we have got other people here. We've got ZVO. How you doing, bro?
Hey mate, how's it going, Jam? Hope you're keeping hydrated during this heat. But
Absolutely.
guys, just quickly, loving the profile pictures of all the trophies being held up. You know, great to see all this. But yeah, I just want to say, guys, with Declan Rice, guys, honestly, you know, I've been saying this on my channel as well, guys, and Steve's chats. He is not going to be at the bridge. I'm just going to say this. I don't see him at the bridge at all. I remember hearing this type of news last year, the exact same 50 million we're putting on him and stuff like that. And I do not see him joining the bridge at all. And I think honestly, it's for the best. I don't think he's a 60 to 70 mil player as people are portraying him to be, and the club is looking for. So I hope we don't progress with that. But I do not see him at the bridge next season, honestly.
No, I get what you're saying. In terms of who would you have then? Who would be your?
I honestly don't think we really need one, because you know we have a Euro winner Jorginho and we got Champions League winner Jorginho as well. So why, you know, invest in someone who isn't at the same level above Jorginho when we could wait a couple of years for someone to progress? But I don't see anyone, a solid CDM. Only player I would get is Marquinhos, and I've been saying this for months, and I would love him, but unfortunately he won't leave. But that's the only player who would be the most ideal CDM / centre back for Chelsea.
No, I hear that. That makes a lot of sense as well. I mean, I do think we need to strengthen in that area. Don't get me wrong. I really do think it's an area that we need to look into. The fact that we let Billy Gilmore go as well. I just feel like, you know, we know N'Golo Kante's he's injury prone. We know that Kovacic can pick up an injury here and there. Jorginho, you know, it's not that. I mean, we're okay, but we need an option there, you know. And whether it's an academy player, whether it's going to pick up like a Kamara from Marseille for 15 mil, whether it's picking up, I don't know, like a Tchouaméni for 30 mil, which is probably more bearable.
Tchouaméni's a good target, yeah.
Yeah, it's worth doing, you know. So I get completely what you're saying. There's some of the people here at CFC's time saying Kamara in as well. Hassan's with us. What are you saying, Hassan?
Yeah, I was just listening into what people were saying about the Haaland situation. And I'm just going to say this. If it goes to deadline day or the last couple of weeks, we're not going to get it. Because Dortmund don't like to stall with these type of deals. I feel like the best chance for I feel like we're going to have to get him at the end of this month. I feel like any later, up to August time or when the season starts kicking off, I feel like then we will have a chance of signing him. Because we've seen it before. Dortmund don't like time wasting. They want the money then or there. There's only so much they can wait before the season starts. After I know they've got this so-called deadline of training camp, but that don't matter when the deal's this big. And you got to factor in as well that they have to find a replacement as well. And if you're doing it all the way at deadline day, they're not going to look for another striker. They'll be like, no, we're sticking with Haaland and that's it. Because you got to factor in as well, they need replacement for Haaland as well.
I agree 100%.
And you hear about the report yesterday, Tammy loan with obligation to buy to Arsenal.
I don't look in. I mean, it was one of the topics that I spoke on about here. I just don't think it makes any sense for both Arsenal or Chelsea to do that. And I mean, look, if Tuchel's going to be the manager that's going to be here for a long time, it would only make sense, right, to sell him now, because why bother with any sort of loan offer and things like that? It just don't make no sense to me. So I think that the West Ham option works better for him, because they need a striker.
To be honest, it is an obligation to buy, so they're gonna have to buy him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why? Just sell him. Why do we need the obligation to buy? Just sell him to him. Do you know what I mean? There's no point then. What's the point of a loan of an obligation to buy, which makes him have to buy anyway? Makes no sense to me. But it is what it is. We've got Phantom here. Phantom, how you doing, mate? You right?
Yes, I think it's a big mistake to keep stalling and try to whittle down, 5 or 10 million. The reason is because, as the other person said, Dortmund has to go find another striker for cheap, and because they don't want Tammy Abraham, right? Because Tammy is. I don't think he's worth 40 million. Do you? I mean, the same way that Declan Rice is not worth 80 million, Tammy's not worth 40 million. I don't think, because if he was worth 40 million, then Tuchel would want him. The fact that Tuchel doesn't want him sends a lot of message to the rest of the league that he's not a 40 million dollar striker, right?
Yeah.
Or 40 million pound striker, or whatever. Is it the thing with Britain that's hard is you don't know whether we're talking about euros or pounds. Is Chelsea asking for 40 million pounds or 40 million euro?
40 million pounds for Tammy.
It's pounds. Yeah, it's pounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
So
I
that's
don't
about
think,
45 million euros.
yeah, that's really not worth it. That's more than 45 million euros. That's like almost 50, right?
Well, it's
So-
roughly 45 to 50.
Yeah, so if you drop Tammy's price down to 35, then I think he's sold. But at 40, he's expensive. And
Maybe that's why Chelsea put a high price on him. So then it
The
drops
Champions
to-
League name ups his price as well. The
yeah, but
Champions
he
League
didn't.
name ups it.
He Champions League, but he didn't participate in the end at all.
He still won
so-
it. He still got us there.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, I think this is Jasper, because he said check your notifications. I've just checked my notifications. It's basically just said Borussia Dortmund are now in direct contact with Mino Raiola to reach an agreement on personal terms for Daniel Malin. Dortmund will make an official bid to PSV once the contract agreement is reached. I thought he was already there. I don't know why I thought he was already agreed, but if that's from Fabrizio Romano as well, so that's definitely serious news. So the fact that they're organising that, is that any leak into potentially Chelsea may be looking to throw the money at them, and they're sort of preparing themselves in worst case scenario?
I feel like because of what Jan said, that Chelsea are preparing 135 million. I think Dortmund have now realised that. Well, I'm just going on what Jan said. If they are going with a 135 million bid, Dortmund have realised, Chelsea are going to slap the money. So we need to find a replacement.
Yeah,
That's how I see it. But
how confident are you? I mean, everyone that's sitting here right now, are you all still confident that Chelsea will at least put in a bid for Haaland? Not say get him,
Very.
but at least put.
I
you
mean,
think we're going to do that?
I feel very confident they will. 100%.
To be honest,
I think
I'm
Roman wants him. Roman wants him at the bridge, and Roman will get what he wants.
I'm like 70 to 80% based on basically what Jan was doing. He's been liking what Chelsea fans were saying about being patient. He's also said about the 135 million bid. The only 20% is because Dortmund are absolute dickheads when it comes to transfers. Like, they could literally say no and backtrack on their own words. Because like what Fabrizio says, it's Dortmund's ball this year. Next year's Team Haaland.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I'm like 90% confident Chelsea will make a bid, but in terms of whether it gets accepted or not, depends on what it is, right? So if
That's
it's like
the 10-20%. Like,
if it's like 135 and Dortmund still rejects it, that doesn't sound good to me, man. That doesn't sound good at all. So
I don't get why they've bought in this or buying this Malin if they've got Haaland there still, unless they want him for backup. Maybe he gets injured. They haven't got anyone to replace him. I don't know. It's a bit unusual.
who is their backup striker currently? Or have they got one?
But they've lost Sancho, haven't they? So that's in itself. They're going to have to bring someone in to not be the new Sancho, but at least be be able to create and assist, and that's what Sancho does. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I wouldn't read too much into it. I still think Chelsea just need to do what we've all been saying they need to do, which is just lay the money. Because I think at the end of the day, the personal terms, that side of it, the agent terms, I don't think it's the issue at the moment. I think it's Chelsea sussing out what they're going to get, what they can predominantly get away with in terms of putting money down. So we'll just have to see.
Is Chelsea afraid that they can't sell Tammy Abraham? Is that the
They
hang
can
up?
sell him. I think they can sell him very easy.
Well, if we
No,
can
no,
sell
they
Tammy
can't
and we
sell
can
him.
sell all these other academy players to raise at least 75% of what we're needing, then why don't we just do it now? Because Dortmund isn't going to come down much because they have the leverage power. We want Haaland more than Dortmund wants to sell, right?
And that's
So
the
why
problem.
should they give us a bargain? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm also a
exactly.
Dortmund fan as well, so I'm able to see it from both sides. So it's like I think that we shouldn't try to dicker over like $5 or $10 million. Just give it to them.
The
Just give
the
it
funny
to them,
thing
and
is,
then we can get Haaland today.
yeah, the funny thing is, Chelsea probably wouldn't sell Tammy unless they have another striker. But ironically, Tammy isn't even playing, so what's the point? Just sell him and get the money. But, you know,
Right. Yeah. Tuchel doesn't even want to put him on the field. So you're right. We should just.
And also, he is asking for high wages as well, which Chelsea are not willing to give.
Yeah, Chelsea's not willing to give, but are these other teams willing to give the high wages to
I
Tammy?
mean, the only two I'm seeing is West Ham and Arsenal, because West Ham gave 120 to Declan. So,
Wow.
and Arsenal love giving high wages anyway. So this could be
Okay.
one or the other.
Yeah, because wherever we try to send Tammy has to agree to go there too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I
And,
think he'll leave.
Apparently, he is keen to go to one of them
Yeah,
too.
he's very keen.
Because it's local as well. It's near his house as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what if we tried to talk to Daniel Levy first? If we want Harry Kane more than Haaland, I'm not sure.
I don't think Levy will sell.
Daniel Levy
Levy
will
won't
not
sell.
sell.
He will not sell. Yeah.
Bro, he'll throw his mom down the stairs before selling clothes, man.
Yeah.
yeah, he'll take like a 50% loss before he sells to Chelsea.
But I promise you this, right? If City put 100 plus a player and we put 150, he's gonna take that 100 plus player.
Wow.
Even if it's a double.
We don't want Haaland more than we don't want Haaland more than BBB wants to sell. They cannot wait till next summer, because of that means that they are missing out on potentially 75 million. This is just bluff. They have to sell now.
I mean, they said that they were gonna sell Ousmane Dembele and they sold him for like 130, 135.
Yeah. I think they'll sell him now. I don't think they'll wait. They'll sell him now for they can get double the money for him.
Oh no! I feel like this is just a tactic of them to raise Haaland's price slightly higher.
Yeah, definitely. That's why it's 150 now.
I don't think. Just going back to what Mo said, he thinks Tammy's not going anywhere. I think the only way Tammy stays is if Chelsea don't sort out this Chelsea striker situation. For Chelsea to even think about getting rid of Tammy tells me that they must have something or someone lined up. It would be stupid to let Giroud and Tammy go and only have Werner, who we're still debating if he's a striker or not, and Batshuayi, what's he going to do? So
yeah.
To be honest, we have freed up about £12 million worth in terms of wages, and getting rid of Tammy also adds up to the wage star free anyway. So
I'm not sure that's true. Actually, I'm not sure Tammy is getting that much, to be honest.
No, I'm not sure he's quite a bit.
Probably at 40, 50k a week or something like that.
What?
Yeah, it's not up to 80.
40
I'll have a look actually.
I think the website salary.report.com or something like that. I don't know, because they give the full details of his wages.
Do they? Well, I'm looking at Sport Rack, and they've got it all on here. Weekly salary, annual salary. Let's have a look actually while we're on it. It's 50 of you still here. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to GNA TV. We're on that road to 1.5k, guys. Please hit that like button, and click the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Right, let's have a look. This is Chelsea's current wage structure. Can you see it? Yeah. So So you've got Ben Chilwell, who takes an annual salary of nearly 9.8 million. His weekly salary is 190,000 a week, is what he's on. If you look at what Timo Werner's on, 170 a week, 8.8 million a year. We was looking at Tammy, weren't we? Where's Tammy? Tammy,
Look at Danny doing
there he is.
Yeah, 57.
He's on 57.62.
That's still a very high wage.
That's lower than Mount, and
Yeah, he makes about 3 million in an annual figure. I mean,
Look at
his age,
Look at
we've
Zappacost
got-
and Emerson though. That's even more. And that's
Where are they?
another
Nah,
thing on
look
the
at
bench,
them.
not even barely playing.
that's embarrassing. He don't
And
even play.
Loftus as well. That's still to get sold. And Barkley
this
as
is-
well.
This is why I think it's
96.
important that Chelsea get rid of these players. It's not all about what we're selling them for. It's releasing the wage structure, the wage funds. It helps massively. Because some of these guys don't even play for us. Emerson doesn't hardly play. David Costa don't play for us. Robert Rubin doesn't
Babarama.
play for us. Zuma. If I was Zuma, I'd be pissed. Why am I on 40k? Am I that bad? When I'm looking.
He barely plays, so it's okay.
What are you talking about? He played the first half of the season.
I don't think that's right.
Well, that was
I think that should be a bit
Lampard.
higher.
Zuma's on 40k. Are you having a laugh?
I think it's higher. I don't think Zuma's on 40K.
I mean, the only thing that might concern me is the Rudiger one because he's asking
what
for a
concerns me is that Baba Rahman,
Rahman,
94.5 grand. Why is he even still on the books?
Wow.
Why have we got Baba Rahman still on the books being paid at 94 grand a week?
Because no one wants to buy him.
But then just flop him off for 2 million or something. I don't know. Give him to someone. We don't need him. He's killing us here. This is why we need to free up our wages. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Ross Barkley, look, 96. Why is it even him? Why is he even in that? That's ridiculous.
I think West Ham's interested in him, so hopefully he goes there.
So Jorginho is that? Jorginho, yeah. So he's on 110. Bakayoko, you're having a fucking laugh. 110k a week.
Nobody wants back Yoko. When he was on loan, we paid for half his salary, so that's different.
Is his contract almost up? Hopefully it is.
Yeah, next year.
Wow.
Some of these players would just have to eat it like drink water.
His contract. We extended his contract just to sell him.
It's mad. It's absolute mad
Why is
numbers.
Malang
Yeah,
Sarr?
and I'll say you look at Danny
Wow. Why is Malang Sarr on 100?
Malang Sarr's on 120k,
Oh
man.
my-
Callum Hudson-Odoi, who don't even fucking play, he's on 120k a week. What's going on here? What is
Whoa.
going on here?
Actually, why is Saul on 120k?
I don't even know. I don't even know he's even on that. I don't even know why Chelsea have been paying that. Our highest payer, I thought, was Kane. Where's Kane? No, Kane's on more than that now. This is wrong. This is
This is slightly outdated, but most of the squad's kind of right.
Oh no, it
Kane
Kane's
is about-
280k, isn't
Yeah, he's on 280, 290. No, I feel like didn't he recently put down pen to paper? Or is that last year's contract or 2 years ago?
That's his 21-22. That does at the top. So
I think he
No.
might have put pen to paper on the 290 contract.
Yeah, I thought Kante was the highest. Highest.
He is.
paying.
I mean,
So, guys-
he deserves it.
the question I've got for you guys is: can Chelsea get away next season without signing a striker?
No.
Yes,
No.
I
Oh,
think so.
put it
It's
this way.
a yes and no situation.
I think it's
Yeah,
just
I'm
no.
I'm not putting my $1,000 bet that Chelsea wins the Premier League unless we get a premium striker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need that. If we want to win the league, we've got to get a premium striker like Kane.
We
Or,
might
No,
get.
no,
Yeah,
I'm saying Chelsea is good. The squad's good enough to win a cup competition, but not a league.
yeah, we might
But-
get top four, but
but
we
we don't want top four. We're Champions League winners. We've got to get at least the Premier League title.
Second or first.
Yeah, at least push for it.
We could mind. The thing is, Bakayoko was amazing at Monaco. We couldn't predict his
Yeah,
flop.
yeah,
He
but the-
was good at Leicester.
The
so he was-
Drinkwater one was a messed up signing anyway because he wasn't really that good.
Mm.
Bakayoko was understandable.
No, I do hear that. That makes a lot of sense. But I mean, other than that, there's not really much more to. I mean, it's to jump on at the moment. Obviously, I did want to go through the wanted to go through the pre-season games that we've got coming up. Obviously, we've got Spurs on the 4th. We've got Arsenal in between. We've got the big Super Cup game against Villarreal. I don't know when all of the players are meant to be reported back in. I think it's probably next week at some
I
point.
think end of August. Yeah, end of August. I think.
End of
July. End of
No,
July.
no,
sorry,
all the main starting 11 will be back before the Super Cup.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, because they're playing 2 games on with Bournemouth
Yeah.
and Portsmouth. I think again some ports. I forgot the team name, but they're playing at the
They'll
same
be
time.
back way before the Super Cup.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
coronavirus is a big wild card right now because you have people like Rudiger out, right?
Yeah.
is he? Oh,
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for all coming on. Appreciate it massively. We
Thank
tend
you.
to try and do these every once a couple of days. I don't try and do them every day, but we will be getting back into consistent streaming very soon. Obviously, the season's not far around the corner. We're going to do some pre-season match reviews as well on what we've seen and who we think Tuchel may keep or sell or whatever else. We'll be doing all that on GNA TV as well. Please make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button below this stream. That will remind you guys when we are live as well. And yeah, help us get on the road to 1.5k, guys. You know, we appreciate all of you guys being here and that as well. It's been a massive, massive thing. So yeah, guys, everyone that's on here now, thank you guys for all coming on as well. We'll see you on here again very, very soon. And take care.
you.
Yeah. Peace.
thanks,
Okay,
gentlemen.
bye-bye.
Have a good one. Come
Thank
on,
See you
you.
later, guys.
peace out.
Bye bye.
VIP, still key. Like Bando, bitch, oh please, yeah. Brand new whip, no keys, yeah. Get down on knees, yeah, yeah.